weren't recording it. How do you feel when you look at that building?
What do you mean, how do I feel? How do you feel? Look at when you can look at that building, you can tell me how you feel, and times that by 1,000. Do you know what I mean? It's not just looking at the building and saying, how do I feel? It's looking at the building and knowing that I know people who died in that building. Everyone, every resident, every person who can call himself a part of this community of Notting Hill would have at least known one person in that building. In the morning when it was time, when I'd seen all this stuff breaking out in the news and people calling me at 1:30, 4 o'clock and all the rest of it, and I recognised that just the locality that my daughter couldn't come to school. She goes to school in one of my children that I look after goes to school in Avondale. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and as soon as I said to her, listen, you can't go to school, she said, why? I said, because there's been a fire. She looked at the news and said, my God, my children, my friends are in this school, my friends are there. So she started getting to hyperventilating and all that. Look at how it affects this community. So when you say to me, what do I feel? Do you know what I mean? I feel the pain of knowing people who've died in that attack. Yesterday I was sitting down in my house with a friend of mine, and as we sat down he was saying, well, what's happened to Khadija Say? Khadija Say is this breaking artist. She's a black young artist, just breaking. She's had her first exhibition in Venice. What's happened to her? And she's the message on social media that she's alive, then that she hasn't been unidentified, that no one knows where she is. And just as we're talking about this, we get the breaking news on the story, and they put a picture of her on the news saying that she's been one of those who's been identified as a victim. Not necessarily a friend of mine, but we'd have known her. These are people that we are acquainted with and know. Do you know what I mean? Others who would have been friends with them. Another friend I heard jumped from one of the floors. Do you know what I mean? This is the sort of story, the backdrop, do you know what I mean, to these images that you have. You're down here and it's just some sort of feeding frenzy for you to sort of get a new sensational story which you might make your career in terms of breaking this, giving a nice news report. This is a reality that people have to live here day in and day out. People know this. Do you know what I'm saying? It is not just a story. And when we look at this situation, we see that a situation which has been brewing for years. We see something whereby the residents have been complaining about it for years. We see whereby the residents have commissioned their own independent reports in terms of the health and safety, the fire risk in that building in particular, but not just that building, in terms of Silchester, Warnington. There are other issues in terms of whereby they've been trying to knock down buildings. They use the term regeneration. Do you know where I'm from? Now, yesterday I watched on the media whereby some government, it was either Theresa May or some government minister, stands up and tells me about lessons must be learned. Do not dismiss or think you're going to bury this community in some hollow platitude about lessons will be learned. What lessons are going to be learned? Did you learn anything from Larkin Hill in Camberwell in 2009? You learned fuck all from that. Do you understand me? So don't come to about lessons going to be learned. Do not treat this community as some ignorant, low IQ community. Do you know what I'm saying? We're not going to be dismissed with hollow platitudes which you used to bury and give those who are responsible. Do you know what I'm saying? You mitigate the responsibility of those who are responsible for those decisions. This is not a case of negligence. This is a case of corporate manslaughter. People should be held accountable. People should be in jail for this. But I very much doubt we will get that with this corrupt government. The people are lucky there's no uprising in this country. If I had my way, I wouldn't be sitting out here talking. You'd be the first places that would be seizing. You, the media, you would be held hostage. You are the ones who facilitate this. You are the mouthpiece of this government. You are the people who make this possible. You are the ones who validate it. You are just as culpable as this government. All in it together. Since Thatcher and Reagan, you've monopolised and capitalised this country. And you know what I mean? It's not about money. Do you know what I mean? It's about for them. I had one ITV newsman say, "Oh, well, look at the real estate here at Nottingham." Is that how you look at it? You see people's lives, you see people in ashes, and you're talking about real estate. You're lucky you never get lynched.
What do you want to happen? What do you want to happen now? What do you think?
What do I want to happen? I want it to be a revolution in this country. I say, fuck the media, fuck the mainstream. You don't deserve to be there. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, we should be campaigning not to government, but to the BBC, who act as mouthpieces for this corrupt government. Do you know what I mean? People need a revolution in this country, nothing short of that. And if this was any other country, there'd have been a revolution. We've seen how you, the mainstream media, have responded and reacted. For 2 years, you've hounded, demonised Jeremy Corbyn, and you said he was unelectable. He can't be. There's no possibility of this man being elected. And you created that narrative that people actually believed your bullshit for a while. But what the election has done is shown that people are immune. They were in bulletproof vests to you and the other billionaire sort of media owners and Rupert Murdoch and all those other motherfuckers. They're immune to that shit there. And that is the vote of confidence, not in terms of Jeremy Corbyn, but it dismisses May. But it also stands up to you as the mainstream media. I say you personally, but I'm identifying you as the mainstream media. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I'm saying identify as the mainstream media. You are motherfuckers. You are a bunch of motherfuckers.
I like you anyway.
I like you too. I like you too. I like you fried, boiled. Fucking have you motherfuckers.
Jeremy Corbyn is around the corner.
I know. I'm just with him.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he should interview you.
Well, I'm not here to express